A team has won a trophy after 70 years, and you can't find it in your heart to see any joy in that.
I still have a dream. I'd love to go in at Chelsea one day.
What is the difference between what Liverpool have done this week?
Because they're going to win something.
You get so
Unlike
close.
Your lot,
you get so
clown.
close. But
Who's the best player you've ever played with?
The club was in a really bad state. It's a big club. That was in a poor situation.
Did he fulfil his potential?
No.
That's the only trophy they've won in about 100 years, guys. And probably will be in the next 100 as well.
You just asked the question, answered it yourself, created a narrative amongst yourself and had a debate with yourself.
In towards John Terry. He's there! Captain's goal from John Terry. And Chelsea have their noses in front again. They can sniff the quarter-finals again.
Knocked down by Dennis to Novakovic. He's got the space. Terry recovered. Terry first, standing firm when it mattered. And look at John Terry. That is real commitment to the cause.
And look who it is! Didn't it have to be John Terry?
The trophy is in the air, glistening, lifted by John Terry as the fireworks go off. Let the party begin. Chelsea are champions.
Out to John Terry. Mr. Chelsea puts Chelsea in front.
Oh man, there's so many lines I could throw in here. But anyway, he was named UEFA Defender of the Year 3 times, made the 2006 World Cup, All-Star Squad, Premier League Hall of Famer. He was capped 78 times by England and won 17 major trophies with Chelsea. It's a very, very good morning to John Terry, who's in the studio. JT, great to see you. Thanks
Morning,
for joining
JT.
us.
Morning, mate.
Morning, Ali. Morning, Gabs.
How are you, first of all?
Really good, actually. Really
Busy?
well. Mega busy, yeah. Especially today. Busy day today.
I'll bet you're all over the place.
Yeah, a little bit.
Before we move on to Club World Cup things, I did notice that you've taken up a bit of paddle.
I love my paddle.
Loves it,
yeah.
doesn't he?
Love it, yeah.
But I'm going to organise a game in Portugal because wee Jodie's your partner.
Yeah.
You must get lobbed. I don't care, JT. I'm just pulling him right into the net and I'm just dinking it over him.
That's what I cover round and he stays at the net. But yeah, we've got each other.
I thought that might be the case.
Unreal game, by the way. Ooh.
I'm serious. I'm going to get into it. Tell me, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
honestly.
All the boys play it.
Honestly, Ali, so good, yeah. For fitness and for us, like the buzz of it.
Yeah.
Like tennis is difficult, isn't it? But paddle's really good.
It's great.
Yeah.
And you get doubles better than singles. Can you play singles?
You can, but it's not great.
No.
Doubles is better. But
And
you need 4 players the same level.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter the age. You know, you've got people like Simon Jordan playing at like 68. Whatever
Don't
he is.
start, Gabby. Don't start.
By the way, tell me he's not bad.
Simon's decent, actually.
Is he?
To be fair, me and Jodie battered him, but he's
Brilliant.
decent. But he said he didn't have the right partner at the time. So
Just tell me it was the Jim White.
no, he's actually very good.
Brilliant. Now listen, we're going to chat about Chelsea in a couple of minutes. But let's start with the new Club World Cup. It was in the White House. Did you know this?
No, I did
That
not.
trophy was in the White House last week, and now the Club World Cup trophy is here with us this morning in talkSPORT Towers, and John is now going to unveil, if you're watching on YouTube. John, would you like to do the honours? Come over here, please.
Absolutely. You two,
Do you know something?
you two didn't want to do it.
I'm not allowed to touch trophies.
she
What
just-
used to them.
There you are. That is magnificent.
Looks good, doesn't it?
That is absolutely magnificent.
Ooh.
I can also reveal immediately it's the closest you've been to a trophy.
Exactly.
To be quite honest,
I don't think it's allowed to be that close to me, to be honest.
Well, how would you describe it? It's not your normal trophy. I mean, you're going to. I have to be brutally honest. You're going to have to struggle to drink the champagne out that one, right? But it is. It's a kind of beautiful shape of the globe,
Yes,
the
yes.
world, and it looks.
All the teams are on it as well, aren't they? Is that right?
It looks magnificent. Absolutely. To think that was in the White House last week, and it's now next to Garbage
London
Burnlow
Bridge.
and talkSPORT Towers. You must have so many memories, John. What sticks out?
You know what? Probably the one I didn't play in, Ali, the Champions League final, 2012 for me. I think the Champions League is probably the most difficult trophy to win.
Yeah.
Having been, I feel we were the best team in 09-10 when Barca beat us in the last minute. 04-05 when we got knocked out.
A bit controversy.
Yeah, a little bit.
By
Yeah,
the way.
a few penalties maybe.
I'd suggest maybe.
Yeah. But just in terms of as a football club and Chelsea meaning so much to me, not playing in it was devastating for me. But seeing the boys and the club win it for the first time was pretty special, mate. So that one, really bizarrely, is the best one for me.
It's amazing. I watched that final in Hong Kong with wee Durante. I mean, I'm not going any further into it than that.
A few beers.
It was a special memory for us as well, to be quite honest with you. But it's amazing for you to say that. But it obviously just shows how much the Chelsea mean to you. You know, is it one of these things you just get the club, you get it? You get the environment, you get the people, that, you know, whether it's the tea lady, the kit man, the masseur, everything about it.
Yeah, I think it's all of that. Like when I first joined Chelsea when I was 14, Chelsea wasn't the club. It was, 20 years later after winning all the trophies. We were kind of a mid-table team. We won the odd trophy. And I had Man United, Arsenal, all kind of wanting to sign me. But I walked into Chelsea and just thought, this feels like home to me. I loved it. I loved the family feel about it. And like you say, the relationships you build with the supporters and the people within the club that have been there for 40, 50 years now is special. Like Chelsea means everything to me. I'm delighted that I'm back in the academy working with the kids. I feel like I have something to offer for them. Like we spoke earlier about them going over to the first team. I've been through everything these guys are going to go through, so to have the little conversation before they go over, or before games and certain other bits, I love doing.
But I think even like you say that about the youth team players coming through, even when you come to Villa, we were like, well, JT's a Villa. Do you know what I mean? It's the respect straight away. He's been there and done it. The leadership that you offered at Villa as well. Yeah. But was that hard to leave Chelsea and come to Villa?
Yeah, it was very hard actually. I've never been so nervous doing the Making Me Sing. He was on me for about 3 days. We were away every night. So we were away pre-season in Portugal, and Gab's like, first night up you get. And Bruce is like, no, give it a couple of days. I just wanted to get it out of the way. Ali, I didn't sleep for 2 days. Pre-season, you want to get off to a good start. I'd not slept for 2 days. In the end, I just went and got the guitarist from the bar and was like, come on, we're going to do it. But I'd never been so nervous in my life, Gabs.
It's funny that. I get that. Because I was kind of nervous walking in when I'd left Rangers after 15 odd years, getting into the Kilmarnock dressing room, where incidentally, I'd 3 of the best years of my life. But it's a little bit nervous because you don't really know what to expect because there's change.
Yeah, it's great when everyone else signs and you're at Chelsea forever and you're laughing at people singing and getting intimidated and... It's good.
It's absolutely amazing. So tell me, Gabby, training, JT, you'd come up against him. How was it?
He loved the pull on the shirt.
The reason I'm asking you the question is because we had a conversation before the big fella came in.
Yes.
Right, playing against him. Clever.
But even like playing against JT and Rio and company, JT was like clever. So even if the channel was available for me to run in, he would just give you a big nudge and then go and get it. Do you know what I mean? You were clever, weren't you? In like the channel's there, but you're not going to get there.
I was never the quickest, so I always had to be thinking ahead. Like, you love to run the channel, so I needed to prevent that before the game. How could I do that? I had to pull your shirt, I had to give you a little push and a nudge here and there, so I had to use all the bits to my strengths that was a disadvantage to you.
But we talk about, don't we, everyone has this debate of who was the best ever centre-halves, who's the best combination. We agreed earlier, didn't we? So we're going to go JT, Rio, Van Dijk and company, and there's others that might be close, Sol Campbell. But what I've spoken to people about is when you play JT, Rio and company, the latter part, you had Michael Owen, Van Nistelrooy, Thierry, Bergkamp, Van Persie, Suarez, Torres, Aguero, Tevez, Rooney, Berbatov, Ronaldo, Robbie Keane, Jermaine Defoe, Benty, Heskey. I've got in brackets Gabby and crew.
I've just got it's a fantastic list. You should have stopped short of Benty and McBurnley though.
But I'm in brackets at the bottom.
Listen, I'm going to shout me. We need to move on. talkSPORT presenter and resident Spurs fan Jamie Harris sent you a very pressing question. JT, have a listen to this.
Alright, JT, it's Jamie O'Hara here. Question for you. Spurs last won a trophy in 2008, beating your mob. You played up the Spurs and just promised to win a trophy in his second season. Will they win the Europa League? And if they don't, do you get rid of him?
Have some of that with your Chelsea hat on.
Nice of him to remind me. 2008, that's the only trophy they've won in about 100 years, guys. And probably will be in the next 100 as well. So that's where it kind of stays and lies with them, I think. He failed to mention 2-15 when I scored and we beat them 2-0 as well.
He kind of glossed over that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Glossed over that, mate.
He did. Will they win it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They look different. They look a different side to me this year. They don't look the exciting threat, pace they had up front before. I think it's a thing with modern day football as well. I'm not sure teams are running behind anymore. I love the fact that Newcastle went right against Liverpool the weekend, made it difficult for their defence. Like, I think a lot of teams, and the top sides especially, have it very easy now. You know, players sit back, sit behind the ball, try and hit on the counter. You had pace in Isaac and the other boys going forward. They looked a real threat the whole game.
Do you know the one team? You know the one team that's kind of changed, in my opinion, and do give you a threat in behind, and they arguably look the best team at this moment in time, is PSG.
Yeah,
do you see the boys in the wide areas with their belly? You know, what do you call them, Barcola, particularly in the wings.
Yeah,
they'll go in behind. They'll come. They've got a little bit. They're different.
Yeah.
And they'll take people on and commit people.
Yeah.
And I think they've been, like, certainly in the last month or so, a great watch. I saw them last 30 minutes against City in Paris. I thought they were excellent. And I thought over the 2 games against Liverpool, they showed their real quality. I know them through in penalties, but I thought they deserved to go through.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they dominated Liverpool in both games. I thought they were excellent. But also the worst thing for a defender is when people run behind. So playing against you, Gabs, looking to run behind, it's a nightmare for me. Or when wide men like the old Hazards and those guys take it on the back foot, face defenders, the only thing you can do is drop off. You then have to get midfielders behind the ball and stuff like that. So,
do you know what frustrates me though? And it's happened at Villa now and then as well, is when I watch football now, JT, it will come to a winger, it can take the right back on 1v1.
Turns back.
He will turn back. It will go back to the keeper and start again. I'm just like, if I ever got in that position, 1v1, take him on every chance.
Well,
now it's like back to the keeper and start again. And
you've got to take them on, because as soon as you take them on, if you get by them, the whole thing opens up. It poses the centre backs a problem. They've got to come across. They don't like leaving the space.
But that's how they're coached now, because I think Maresca said it about Enzo Fernandez. If he doesn't pass it back and keep the move going, then he'll be coming sit next to me. So it's how the teams are coached now, isn't it? How they keep it going. You have to go back to the keeper. The keepers can play, start from there, don't they?
Yeah, I think everyone's obsessed with possession and also playing out from the back as well. It drives me crazy. Goalkeepers have the most touches on the ball now. It's frustrating. We don't want to be those ex-players of, back in our day we used to do it like this. But yeah, in terms of that, Gabs, like,
but you've got to mix it up, surely.
We try and encourage the wide men at Chelsea through the academy. How many crosses do you get in the first half? How many crosses is in the second half? How many shots at goal do you have? Like, all of these things now can create chances, or, like you said, Ali, make the defenders defend crosses.
Villa scored against Bruges away. Rodgers crossed it in, own goal.
Yeah.
The defender had to score an own goal because Watkins would have tapped it in.
Yeah.
So the goal comes as get in the box.
You've got to ask your defenders a question. Get it in a wide area, and you don't even need to beat your man. Get a half yard, get the ball in, give a centre forward a chance, and ask your centre backs a question. Moving on again, John. You spoke about you're enjoying your time at the academy, which is great. What do you see yourself doing long term? Do you fancy yourself as a coach, a bit of management? And then I'm going to move on to Frank, who I've got to say I'm absolutely ecstatic. I genuinely am ecstatic to see him doing so well at Coventry, and hopefully that will continue. What about yourself?
Yeah, in terms of me, like when I left Villa, I had to leave for personal reasons, for family reasons and stuff. But which I love my time at Villa. I love coaching. After 3 years, I was ready to be a manager, so I come away, kind of reset with the family a little bit, and then I had a couple of interviews, Ali. Was quite disappointing, actually. Like, every interview I come away from was, you have no experience as a number one, and I'm like, okay, how do I get that? I'm keen to get in, I want to go in, needs to be the right team. Didn't get my opportunity, and now to be honest, I've stepped back. I'm part-time in the academy at Chelsea, which I spoke earlier. I love being around the boys and supporting them. But in terms of my life at the minute, like, I'm playing a load of golf. I love my golf. Summer's just about to come now.
You're in a great place.
Yeah, I'm playing paddle. I'm fit. I'm healthy. I'm with my wife, with my family, enjoying life a little bit. Like, we make big sacrifices as players. You don't see the kids on their birthdays and all things like that. Picking the kids up from school and dropping them off, or dropping them to their friend's house and stuff like that, means everything to me. So in terms of that, that's where I'm at the minute. I think the longer I leave it, the kind of less likely it is to happen. I still have a dream. I'd love to go in at Chelsea one day. Does that happen without me doing the other levels? No, it probably doesn't. So I'm realistically, it's not going to happen for me. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy. I've done all my badges. I'm ready. So if anything does ever come up and it's the right opportunity, I'll go in.
Slot was asked post-match, well, what actually happened out there? Was it a simple case of Newcastle wanted it more? This was Arnie.
It's 70 years since they've last won a trophy, maybe, but that's for the fans. And the players want to have 15 years to play football, and they want to win every single trophy they are competing for. That's also what we want. But it was a game that went the way they wanted it to go. And they got, just before half-time, some extra energy with the goal, which they probably deserved after the first 45 minutes, because they were threatening us more than we threatened them. And I don't think there was more hunger for them. The game went the way they wanted it to go, and they are stronger in that part of football than us, and that's why they beat us.
Martin Keown alongside Simon and myself this morning. How about it, Martin? Were Liverpool a no-show, or were they forced to go missing by Newcastle?
It was very much about Newcastle and the way that they stopped Liverpool from being successful. So they denied the press. So a lot of what Liverpool do is about winning the ball high up the pitch, and it creates an energy and a fever in their play, and that was missing, and they couldn't really settle because they kept playing the ball long. And then they exposed Liverpool in that area. I think the physicality of the three midfield monsters, I call them, I mean, they really are physical specimens. Tonali is he's such a good player.
He's a workhorse.
So I think it was like really clever to put him just in front of the back four, because the distances he covers, high intensity runs, it's all under the bonnet. We see a lot of Bruno either being fouled or fouling. I think there's something in that. McAllister does this for Liverpool.
Indulging us here, we're praising people. I'll be back with you in a second.
They took the game away from Liverpool. They did it really well. I understood his logic, the manager. I thought he explained it really well, Slot, after the game. This zonal marking thing for set pieces, I wouldn't agree with him. If I was in his staff, I'd have to question it. So what he said, we have 5 players in a zonal area, and we have 3 that mark. But you have to mark somebody of Dan Burn's size in your zone. We did this at Arsenal.
You have to pivot, don't you? You have to change.
Marked in our zone.
If you're seeing something manifest itself in the game, surely you have to change. By the way, you should praise Tonali, and it's the least he can do for the football club given the circumstances he put them in. So he should be out there doing his job.
Well, I would agree with that. I would agree with that absolutely wholeheartedly. What about Joe Linton, Martin? A guy who it never seemed he was going to make it at Newcastle, changes position, and is now
I was inspired.
A favourite of all favourites. I mean, they love the guy.
Do you know what? Incredible energy up and down the pitch. He's strong. He handles the ball well. You know, I think there is something in that. So I think you've got 2 there that are really, quick, very good under pressure. Bruno's very good in tight situations. So is Tonali, and another one that's more leggy, powerful player. It's a nice combination. That midfield 3. I felt sorry for Willock a little bit, because do you know the way that they put Arsenal away? I think it was a good preparation for the final, that they could show that they could actually take the ball away from a team that passes the ball. I mean, PSG Liverpool was a fantastic game of total football, and here we are now. We had a different side to the game. It was a throwback. It was nice to see. If you're a coach, you're watching and say, okay, maybe this works. To go long a little bit.
I'm conscious of the fact that off the back of talking about Liverpool, we're back on Newcastle. Let's get back to Liverpool. Has the shine, Simon, been taken off Slot's perfection in any way over the last week?
Going to win the league, aren't they? Anybody that closed their eyes and said at the end of the season Liverpool were going to win the Premier League, and would anyone suggest any shine at any particular point because there was an assumption that maybe you can win the treble?
You could say, and I'm just hearing it in my ears now, you can say I'm paranoid again. If this was Arsenal losing 2 major games like that, you'd say they bottled it
to win the league.
But I don't think they've just gone out of the Champions League and they've just lost a cup final. You'd be saying Arsenal have bottled it.
No, I wouldn't, because they're going to win.
No, you would, because that brings a mischievous part to your personality. We're seeing all of it exposed here this morning.
But Arsenal,
you've no love for the fact that a team has won a trophy after 70 years, and you can't find it in your heart to see any joy in that.
All done.
But you want to aim an easy target.
All done.
Right. But I'm going to say, no, Liverpool. That was taken away from them by a very good Newcastle. And Liverpool haven't bottled it at all.
So let's get it right. You just asked the question, answered it yourself, created a narrative amongst yourself, and had a debate with yourself.
I'm learning with you.
I would not suggest, if Arsenal won bugger all, which is what they do right now, I would say they bottled it, right? If Liverpool lose the league now, what do you think I'll say?
Liverpool aren't going to lose the league. I'm talking about what's just happened. What have they just lost?
So you can't
what have they just lost this week?
You can't make the argument they've bottled it, can you? And you can't compare it to the argument that I made with Arsenal, who were 8 points clear in the one competition that they could win, the one competition they could win, and they didn't. Liverpool had 3 opportunities to win a competition. If they win one of them, I'm not going to turn around and say they bottled it. And by the way, I wasn't in the camp of saying they were going to do a treble either.
What is the difference between what Liverpool have done this week?
Because they're going to win something.
You get so
unlike
close.
Your lot,
you get so close, but they haven't done it yet. They get so close to winning something, and they don't, and they're bottle merchants. I don't think that. I don't like that word. I don't like it aimed at anyone.
Squirty flower.
I just think they've had a very difficult week. This PSG were absolutely remarkable in the way that they played, and Newcastle.
Martin, I'll put it to Simon. I'll put it to you.
ADS
to any degree. I mean, they went out to PSG. They lost in the FA Cup to Plymouth. They lost yesterday in the Carabao Cup final. I watched them trudge out of there yesterday. Now, of course, they've got the Premier League, but has the shine been taken off anything that Slot has tried to achieve or looked like trying to achieve? It was going to be, wow, it's now, Premier League, but brilliant.
Yeah, but they've just lost 2 games on the bounce. All the timing of when it's come and when the adjusting, and it was going beautifully well. It does take the shine, of course it does. And now you've got 3 players that haven't signed their contracts.
Now, what does that tell us?
So you've got Van Dijk, you've got Salah, and the attention's now coming towards Liverpool. But I think it was almost...
Are they going to win the league?
Yes, they will. And
it's the most difficult thing in the
world. But that makes it worthwhile.
It's the most difficult domestic competition. Is everyone's bread and butter. Everyone starts. Even Guardiola starts with the principle of win the league.
Of course.
Are they going to win the league? So
without doubt, they're going to win.
Arsenal derangement.
They're going to. But I'm just saying. Please don't go with this bottling thing, because it doesn't make it. Look.
But they haven't. Because no one did.
No,
you did.
You put that label because it's cheap journalism on certain clubs.
Arsenal.
Correct.
Not certain clubs. Yeah, your club, you loaned.
So
they bottled the league.
So why haven't Liverpool bottled it this week?
Because they're in cup competitions. You get knocked out in knockout games. If you win over 38 games and you're 12 points clear and you don't win the league, you bottle it. If you're 8 points clear when you get to the business end of the season and you choke.
Yeah.
You can still be accused
of discussion.
And the fact of the matter is, Martin, Liverpool at the moment sit there this morning with a 12-point advantage. 12 points more than Arsenal. If they were to choke at this stage, that would be choke with a capital Ch.
And it'd be big bottling.
Sean, you'll probably get asked this question every show you do, but what do you think of England appointing a German as our manager, Thomas Tuchel?
Yeah, I mean, I think like everyone, for no other reason than liking the idea of an English manager. I think that would be the better route for the sense of just for the coaching idea. English coach, English managers going through the system and hopefully managing the country. But that being said, you want someone who can win. I thought Gareth personally, I disagree with you. I thought he did a fantastic job overall, apart from not getting over the line, but many have failed to do that. But I think he's done a brilliant job. And I think it'll be interesting to see what Thomas can do. It's a different way of looking at things, he'll bring a different feel, a different kind of viewpoint on the culture of English football and what it stands for. So we'll have to wait and see. But inevitably, we all want to win. We all hope that we can win something. And I think that's the end product that he'll be judged on, not whether he's good, bad or indifferent. Eventually, you're judged on whether you can win, as you were mentioning about Gareth.
Sean, how are you feeling about them this weekend? I mean, obviously, we last got to see you in the dugout with Everton. How are you looking back in that, and how are you looking forward for what's to come?
Yeah, I mean, I look back on that as strangely, and I know there's that mixed bag of people who agree and disagree, but I look back at it as a very successful couple of years because the club was in a really bad state. It's a big club. That was in a poor situation, so to guide it through that and hand it over, and I said when I left in my statement they're in good shape. A few people questioned that, but it's been proved right, because Moyes has gone in there and doing great with them, just adding a new voice, a new flavour, different details to what he wants to do, and it wasn't far away from being better than it was showing at that time. But the change was probably at the right time after me and my staff and many others, Kevin Felwell, doing a good job to sort of reorganise the club, if you like. And then on the pitch, but you always get questioned, do you play this way, that way, and all the rest of it? That's standard. But off the pitch, there was so much work done by so many. So that was good. Overall, it was good. I mean, it was a hard finish, but it was a good couple of years of good work. And then going around life at the minute, I've been enjoying stepping away from football, catching up with friends, catching up with life. I've only been to one. Well, I've been watching my lad play.
Lovely.
He's playing at Northampton, so I've really enjoyed that because I haven't had many chances. So I've seen him play 4 or 5 times, going again on tomorrow. I went to Rome to watch my daughter run the marathon. She's done amazing, her first ever marathon. Yeah, did fantastic. So proud of that. And started as a novice from literally running 1K to running a marathon. So amazing what she's done. And then just catching up with life. I don't mind a couple of beers here and there. So, all right.
Sean,
couple of curries, Johnny.
Sean, at such a young age, though, at 53, we know for a fact, I can guarantee it myself, you'll be back managing. So do you wait to see for that call to come? If that call come before the weekend, would you take it before you show on the weekend?
No, I'm open to ideas at this stage. You know, I've been in it a long time. I've been in the Premier League for 10 years, and you know, who knows what opens up, because the game, as you know, it's so fast now. I've had lots of offers from media as well, which I'm considering, and obviously, you know, happy to be doing a bit with talkSPORT. And John, who's a friend of mine, as well as very knowledgeable about sport and life in general. So I get on well with that. I'm looking forward to that. You know, you never know what comes round. You know, football's a strange business, as you know. It changes very quickly. The viewpoint changes quickly as well. From, you know, you spend a bit of time out the job and you can become a better manager without managing. You know, because people go, oh, they need that guy in the job. So you know, we'll wait and see. I'm open-minded at the minute, and actually, I'm just really enjoying taking a breath on things, waking up in the morning, letting the days unfold right in front of me. Had a bit of golf yesterday, you know, little things, just some simple stuff, not always amazing stuff, just simple stuff, day-to-day life that you miss out on.
Will Chelsea win the Premier League under Enzo Maresca? 03717 223344. Dial it now. You'll be on in about 30 seconds while you are answering the question. Do you think they will?
Of course.
Okay. Why didn't you say that before? Why are you so sure that they will?
Because I'm always come back to the story when they win the first trophy. They wait 15 years. And when Roman Abramovich he build this team, he focus about this trophy straight away. He brings the players, they know how to win trophy. I think, Chelsea will come back win this trophy, sure.
Okay.
100%.
John, I don't need to ask you because you're going to answer the same question. While we're getting the callers up answering the question, we'll speak to them in a moment. 03717 223344. I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
The first question that popped in my head when I found out you were coming in today, I'm sure you've talked about this a million times. It's my club's Man United. Do you know what question I'm going to ask?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to talk about my club. But I want to ask you the question about the fact that you were a Manchester United player.
I wasn't.
You never... Oh, okay. You did a press conference.
Pre-contract it was.
Pre-contract press conference. You had the kit on. Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
Okay. What happened there? What was the problem? What was the mistake?
Oh no, well, long story, isn't it?
Yeah, we got time. We're not off air till 7. We got all the time.
We're gonna be here all day. Mourinho calling. Yeah.
Do you want me to put that in Google Translate as well? Is it one you don't really speak about? Though? I didn't know.
No. I've spoken about it so many times. It's just everything was long. Obviously, as everybody knows, I first went to Manchester United for trials. And then I went to Chelsea for trials. But while I went to Manchester United for trials, I was there for a couple of months. And then after that, United loved me. They wanted to sign me. Fergie wanted me to sign me. The senior players wanted me to stay. But because I wasn't 18 and I don't have 75% of my international caps, you are not allowed to play for a Premier League club because from Africa. So they had to send me back to Nigeria for a couple of months, come back, couple of months, stay United. So until I get to 18, but because they sent me back to Nigeria, so Chelsea now knew where I was. They sent their agent to come to Nigeria, pick me up, took me to London for trials. I went there, and then Chelsea liked me, Mourinho, Roman, everybody liked me. They wanted me to sign as well for Chelsea. But again, because I wasn't 18, I didn't have the 75% of my national team caps, so I couldn't stay. So they had to send me to Norway to stay until I get to 18. So when I got to 17 in Norway, you could play. And after that game, my first game, in a couple of weeks, I would turn 18. Then I could play for English Premier League club. So when I played the game for Norway, I had a good game, my first game debut, and then everybody heard about it. Fergie, everybody knew where I was, so they sent again.
Everyone's chasing him.
Wow.
But it's a Chelsea they send you in
Norway, yeah.
Of course.
Chelsea
deserve.
Yeah, Chelsea, yeah. So then Fergie sent his troops down to
Where is he?
Yeah, where is he?
Searching for you.
So they came straight away, presented a pre-contract because they were not ready to waste time again. They didn't want to lose me again. So came with a pre-contract. I think it was about $1 million quid it was back then. A lot of money. I looked at it. I was like, whoa. And I didn't have my agent with me. I didn't have anybody to advise me on what to do. I was still 17, just about to turn 18, and I had about 4. I had the coach for my club then, and the sporting director, and the coach who played for United before. I can't remember what his name was. He was the coach in Norway. It was about 5 men, and I was alone in a room with them. And all they could tell me was, you have to sign this contract. You have to sign it.
Did they have your arm behind your back?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But I was there alone. I couldn't speak to anybody. They took my phone away. I couldn't speak to my agent. I couldn't speak to my family, my mom or my dad. Nobody. And I had to decide that night. I had to decide that day. You could tell by the picture after the press conference, I thought, what have I done here? So I signed the contract straight away. Immediately, 20 minutes, 30 minutes after that, we did the press conference.
Yeah.
Everything was in a hush. And then, of course, Chelsea saw it. Everybody was like, what is going on here? So straight away, Roman saw it, sent his troops down to...
His army's all over Europe.
Yeah, sent his troop to Oslo. And my agent, everybody came looking for me. I was already locked away in a hotel. Nobody could see me. So my agent could manage to find where I was, took me out of the country, flew me down to London. Wow. And then I stayed in an apartment in London. But then I couldn't play for Chelsea, for Manchester, because of the contract that I signed. FIFA was trying to sort it out. They couldn't sort it out for about a year. I missed a year of football. So I was staying in an apartment in Fulham, because nobody could sort the whole thing out. United didn't want to let me go. Chelsea were not going to back down because they're saying he's our player. We took him to Norway. We've been looking after him. He's going to school in Norway playing football. So the whole thing was just crazy. And then FIFA said, listen, we tried, we couldn't sort it out. It's down to the FA to sort it out. So then the FA got involved and then invited. So Fergie said, listen, give me 30 minutes with the kid alone in a boardroom office. I can convince him to still come to Manchester United. So he flew down to London. I was in a room with him alone. My agent was sitting outside. And he said, listen, whatever he says to you in that meeting, just nod your head and say, nope, nope, nope. So I spent 20 minutes with him, locked in a room. He was just saying, listen, what is the problem? Why don't you want to come to Manchester United? Is it more money? I will give you more money. What do you need? What do you want? We need you at the club. I just kept saying no. I said, sorry, I just want to play for Chelsea. Walked away, went back to Manchester United, went back to Manchester for 20, 30 minutes. He flew back to Manchester. And then 2 days later, we got an offer saying, okay, I'll let the kid go, but you have to pay. I think it was 13 million to Manchester United and 4 million to my club in Norway. And that was how the whole thing was sorted.
Wow, what might have been? That's an incredible story.
No, he's done right.
The way Fergie said the way act is good. He's just
that's nice that he's done that, right?
He's brilliant.
He's seen that you didn't want to be there.
He saved him.
Yeah.
He saved his career.
Yeah.
Some clubbers, they will fight and see and they will lose 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And he saved him.
Yeah.
You need to say thank you for this one because
I saw him a few months ago, and I said, I did say thank you, but I don't think he forgave me. Fergie never forgives.
No, he doesn't.
No,
he doesn't.
I don't think so.
I forgive you. Right, time now to hear from the fans, thanks to our friends at 3.
The 3 phone-in on talkSPORT with 3. Football needs a big network. Keep connected to the team you love on 3.
That's one of the questions we've been asking, and it was just about answered. Can Chelsea win the Premier League under Enzo Maresca? We've got Rob, the Chelsea fan, wants to answer that question. Hello, Rob.
Right, Rob.
Hello, guys. How we doing?
Well, me and Jay are good. Would you like to speak to a couple of Chelsea superstars?
Legends. That's all you can say about these guys, isn't it?
It is
I have
indeed.
to say, though, guys, it makes a really nice change to actually listen to talkSPORT and not have a Liverpool mention for at least half an hour.
I try and do that every day, but, there are Liverpool fans here. There's nothing I can do about it. What would you like to say about your side? So the question was, are Chelsea ever going to win the league under Enzo Maresca?
No. Simple. If you'd asked me that question at the beginning of the season or 2 months into it, I said, we could stand a chance looking at the run that we had leading up to Christmas. We did do well, took us up to second place. Thought, yeah, okay, just keep the run, keep the momentum going. We stand half a chance of at least being up there with a shout. But I think a lot of the problems at Chelsea at the moment is a little bit of petulance from some of the young players. Also, the goalkeeper situation. I mean, they couldn't catch a cold between the three of them, I don't think. As far as their passing out and whatever, playing from the back, well, it's just a catastrophe, isn't it? Waiting to happen every time. I think everybody at Stamford Bridge just holds their breath every time Sanchez gets the ball.
Rob, listen, thank you for your call. That was our fans phoning. Thanks to our friends at 3. We'll carry this chat on in just a sec.
The 3 phone-in on talkSPORT with 3. Football needs a big network. Keep connected to the team you love on 3.
John, you were nodding through that little chat. Do you agree with that, or how long do you think it will be till Chelsea win the Premier League, and will they win it under their current manager?
Under Maresca?
Yeah.
I hope to believe so, because I quite like him. I think he's a really good manager. Yeah, I think what he's done with the club in a short space of time, I think there is an identity there now, the way we want to play. But I think, like he said there, I think when you want to win the Premier League, you need a top goalkeeper. And I don't think we have that. We need to get a top goalkeeper, and we need another top striker to help Nicholas Jackson. I think he's done brilliantly. He's done really, really well, Nicholas Jackson. But you see, now he's injured. We don't have any other striker. He needs competition. He needs somebody else who's going to be there, maybe lead the line. I don't think he's that guy now to lead our front line. Yes, he can help. Yes, somebody can come in and help him. But I think he needs help. I think if we can be able to strengthen this position, another centre-back, another midfield player. I think we have way too many players on the wing. We just need to strengthen the goalkeeper, another top striker to come in, help Nicholas Jackson, another top midfielder, and I think we should be there. I like Maresca. I think he's a brilliant manager.
Okay, good answer. Thank you for that. We're going to finish with a bit of fun. We thought we'd give you a few quick-fire questions about some of your former teammates. Is that all right? Okay. Question number 1, who's the best? I'll start with you, John. Same question to both of you. Who's the best player you've ever played with?
Ooh, technically, Eden Hazard.
Okay. Did he fulfil his potential?
No.
He didn't?
Didn't train.
He
didn't apply himself, no, didn't train. Imagine if he did. Worked out like a Cristiano Ronaldo or like a Messi.
Why didn't he train?
He didn't like it, he didn't fancy it, because he was so technically gifted, he didn't need it.
Did it come easy for him?
Too easy. You know, he didn't train, and he goes out on a Saturday, 3 p.m., wins you a match and wins the man of the match. What can you say? Nothing.
No, you can say many things. No, it depends.
What would you say?
Sometimes it comes from the teammate. You make sure, when you have talent front and you need to make him understand.
We told him, Claude. We told him.
Anyway,
he says no. Leave me alone.
You remember?
Yeah, that's what he says. He says no. Leave me alone.
You remember?
He says you go and train. I don't want to train.
You remember when we starting?
Funny.
You remember we're starting with Ruben?
Yeah.
He's starting the same. But in the training ground, we punch him. We go every single day behind him because we know we need him in a game. In a game, the opponent will do the same thing. He learned from how teammate be destructor.
See, the thing
I think sometimes you need to come from your teammate.
When it comes so easy, and Eden Hazard's the best Chelsea player I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? He's the best I've ever seen. But when it comes so easily, and he didn't want to be the best in the world. He didn't want to be a Cristiano. He didn't want to be a Lionel Messi. He was happy doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. The problem you got, he will be the best player on the pitch on a Saturday. Now, I don't know what he did midweek because I didn't see that. But every Saturday that he turned up, he was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah. Okay. I've only got you for about 2 minutes, right? Did either of you nearly sign for a club, apart from Man United, that we don't know about? Did you speak to a manager or get very close to signing for another club? Either of you, John?
I think after the Champions League final, I think I got I was a little bit close to Bayern Munich. After the final, a little bit close.
Why didn't that happen?
I won the Champions League for Chelsea. I was happy, and I was going to get a new contract. So, and the club of my life as well. The memory from the champ. There's no way I was going to abandon what we just achieved. And nah.
In their backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never happened. It's always.
I don't believe you.
I can't be transferring.
You must have had a little conversation with someone.
Never.
Okay, I like that.
I can't, because I've been the best club in the world. There's a more stronger. Why I need to go.
That's nice.
Seems like a long time ago when the now Chelsea owner Todd Bowley was suggesting, what about a North versus South All-Stars game? Well, it never actually came into being, but now something like it involving football legends is going to happen at the home of Charlton Athletic, the Valley, on June the 1st. Because it is indeed that. It's a North versus South fixture featuring some of the biggest names in football. Harry Redknapp will take charge of the South, and the team's captain for the North is none other than the legendary striker. He is the manager, not the captain. He is the manager, and he is Robbie Fowler, who I bumped into yesterday at Wembley. Robbie, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jim. How are you, pal?
I'm very well, Robbie. Thank you very much for joining us. So tell us more about this. North versus South, and you are managing the North. How did this come about?
Well, it's been an idea. It's been maybe, in the idea of obviously the people who were organised it for maybe 15, 17 years now. So it's managed to come to fruition. There's going to be a game on the 1st. It's the day after the Champions League. So I think that there might be a few Liverpool representatives because they won't be at the Champions League game. So. It'll be good. It'll be competitive. There'll be a little bit of rivalry. I think we over the years have always mentioned that North-South divide. So I think we can really have maybe a competition who really has got the best players and who the best side is. So it will be competitive. There's an element of fun involved in that as well. But you know, Jim, I think when all players get together, and myself and Harry are tasked with maybe building a team and building a squad together to be ultra competitive. So it'll be a good game, a real competitive game.
I get that. I mean, you will want to win as much as Harry will want to win. So you're managing the North. Can you let us into any of the secrets? Do you know who is going to be in your squad, Robbie? Can you give us a name or two?
Yeah. I mean, look, the name I've got. I mean, the one name I've got is Steve McManaman, who's going to be my captain. So obviously, we're tasked with building these players. And look, the rule is we were told that there's no rule. So if you're like an overseas player, but you've represented a North or a South team, then you can play for one of those. So if you're Northern born but represented a Southern based team, then you can play for the South. So I mean, Harry's book's probably a little bit bigger than mine, so I think he'll probably have a little few more players to pick from. But look, we will get a team together. We have got a very, very good squad of Northern players who've maybe not long retired, and the competitive edge will certainly be there.
I like the sounds of it. Martin's going to come in a second. I mean, this is going to be a regular thing from now on, I think, Robbie. It's not a one-off.
No, that's the plan. So I mean, look, this game is going to be at Charlton on the 1st of June. Next year we're obviously going to try and get a Northern based stadium. So it's going to give people up and down the country a chance to come and see obviously great players playing in or representing a Northern team or a Southern team. So I'm looking forward to hopefully years and years of of competitive games.
You will favour the South, Simon, as you always do, when it comes to North-South matters.
Yeah, of course I would. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be able to go because I wouldn't be able to get the stench of the Valley off my skin, having to go down to Charlton's ground. So I wouldn't find myself there. But listen, I think these things are great. I mean, it's another way of looking at sport. I've played in a couple of games when it was the old Palace side against Manchester United and Liverpool. So I've played against McManaman and Jamie Redknapp and other people like that.
You did?
Yeah, it was great fun to do.
And you scored at Wembley?
Yes, at the first ever game
at
Wembley.
He still insists that he did, Robbie.
Of course I did, but it's not. This is a different set of spectacles. This is ex-legend players all playing against one another.
Yeah.
With people like Robbie Fowler as manager and Harry Redknapp. Obviously, if we have Neil Ruddock in there, then like Harry's heroes, no one's going to score any free kicks because they will block the goal, even though he's now in a different condition. Look, it's another way of looking at football. It's another interesting thing. They'll probably get a very big crowd, and if it's going to charity, then great, fantastic.
Robbie, earlier on we were talking about Newcastle coming out on top in the Carabao Cup final yesterday at Wembley against your old club Liverpool. Simon typically has no sentiment whatsoever. Sentimentality is out the window when it comes to it's Newcastle's first trophy in 70 years. That apart, what happened to Liverpool yesterday, Robbie?
You know what? Newcastle were a better team. I mean, you said they come out on top. I think they started on top and they finished on top. So I've got no complaints. Certainly from a Liverpool point of view, I think Liverpool was schooled. In all fairness, I think Eddie Howe tactically was better yesterday than Arne Slot. I think there's no two ways about it. They were by far the better team. the lads in the studio will tell you, how you win games is you control that middle of the park first. And I thought the midfield three of Joe Linton, Guimaraes, and who else played? Joe Linton were unbelievable. Joe Linton, Guimaraes, and who was
Tonali, yeah, great players.
Tonali, sorry, yeah. So the three of them just controlled the middle of the pitch, and I think that was the starting point for them. They were allowed to sort of bring the ball down and control the game. I mean, you've got Isak, who was a tremendous forward, and he will be on the lips of every top club in European football now, if he wasn't already. But just Liverpool players just never showed up. I mean, I'm reading reports that they wanted it more. I mean, I don't sort of buy into that. I think because Liverpool going into a game, of course they wanted it, but the players just didn't turn up. So they did want it, but they just weren't allowed to sort of get any sort of pattern into the game, because Newcastle were better from the first whistle.
Robbie, as a legend at the club as you were back in the day, are you now concerned that these three major signings have not actually put pen to paper coming to the end of the season? I know it looks like they win the Premier League, but there's going to be a huge loss, surely, to the group if they go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I think it's poor from a club the size of Liverpool to sort of be in this position first and foremost. That's obviously a different conversation. I mean, I've been on talkSPORT with Jim and obviously Simon before, and spoke about these players, and from a Liverpool fan point of view, you're mega disappointed if any of them don't sign. I don't think the three of them will, if I'm being totally honest. But it's going to be one of them things with Liverpool now, and certainly after the performance yesterday from some of the players within the team, I think Arne Slot knows that he's maybe going to have a big summer plan, because he'll probably want to bring his own players in. So regardless of them players, staying or going, that there's going to be a few incomings anyway. So, I mean, if it's them players, so be it. And as much as we don't want them to go, because they're all tremendous players. I mean, if I'm sort of sat here now and thinking, if you're coming back and saying, well, listen, you can only have one of them three, I think I'm going to go for obviously Virgil van Dijk. And I know Mo Salah's numbers are extraordinary. And Trent is, for me, he's probably that position where he plays, he's probably the best in the world at what he does.
But
I think Virgil van Dijk would be the biggest.
He'd be the biggest loss, you're going to say. But Van Dijk, do you believe him when he says genuinely, I'm in the dark?
Well, I mean, there's no reason why you would disbelieve him. If they're coming out saying that, then then fair enough. So I mean, I've no doubt the club are having conversations and obviously negotiation, but they're obviously miles away from obviously where the players think they should be. So I'm sure that obviously the agents and the obviously the players themselves are having conversations, but they are miles away from where we think, or the players think they should be.
Do you know what? I think we've already seen a snapshot of how much they're going to miss Trent if he goes, because he went off in the PSG game just as he was starting to control it.
Yeah.
And he was a huge loss at the weekend. So they need to work
Good
hard.
player, Conor Bradley though as well, don't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, without doubt. But I think Trent's ahead.
Much more important than all of that, Robbie. North versus South. Am I right? North is going to come good in the day.
Absolutely. It's not even a debate, is it?